watch in place for the central parts of our area until 10 o'clock tonight. The highest threat for severe weather is going to be over the southern sections of our area. The highest threat for flooding is going to be over the central and, well, really the central portions of our area. This is the wide view of Storm Tracker showing the giant cluster of thunderstorms moving in right now. Now, the big thunderstorms currently are just to the south of Waushara and just to the south of Wautoma, just to the south of Waupun. That was Waupun. Thunderstorm moving right up Highway 151, and it does look like it's going to pass very close to the Waupun area. We have also seen some tighter rotation out of the storm near Wautoma, especially right along the Marquette and Waushara County lines. Now, first off, we're going to take a look at the storm that's just to the south of Waupun. We are picking up some rotation in the radar, especially just south and southwest of Waupun. So this would be kind of where Highway 26 meets or leaves Highway 151 and heads to the south, just to the east of Fox Lake. This storm really looking impressive on radar, expected to be in Waupun right at about 312. Let's just say 312, and then moving towards Oakfield by 340. That is quite a ways away. But really the biggest concern is for the city of Waupun right now. We also have that tornado warning out for southern sections of Waushara County, and that runs until 3:45. I am going to take a step back here, and we're just going to plop up the radar so I can go ahead and kind of walk you through this a little bit more cleanly. The radar showing that I'm going to have to take this off. So there's the storm tracker. You can see where the storm tracker is showing that activity, but it's this area right here over the central portions of, well, northern sections of Marquette County. This would be the tornado just to the southwest of Waupun, probably about in this location or this location. So a little tough to tell exactly because of the distance from the radar, but it would be right in there. So we're going to zoom in on that area a little bit more tightly. I'm going to clear the telestrations off here. We'll clear that off. I'll zoom in on this radar site and show you that a little more closely. You can see the little hook in the radar. That would be where the tornado would form. And especially interesting is the drier air to the southeast kind of swinging into that storm system. So we'll take a look at a couple of different versions here. This is the velocity. This indicating that the tornado would be almost right along Highway 151, just to the south and southwest of Waupun, but not by much. And we'll take a look at the shear. Let's see if we can pick up any of the shear. This is basically looking at rotation inside the thunderstorm. This looks a little delayed, so I wouldn't worry too much about that, but it does look a little bit delayed. We'll go ahead and throw the lightning on there. We are seeing quite a bit of lightning with this storm, but the biggest concern is that this rotation, and especially, I'm going to check the debris field. So one of the things we do is we can see if there is a consistency in the raindrops. And sometimes when there is an active tornado on the ground, we get things that look different. So you would see this tend more towards the oranges and the blues. This giving an indication that there is a potential, but it's not showing anything terribly noticeable there to the southwest of Waupun. Really, it's the radar presentation that looks most impressive with that storm. The other storm with the tornado warning, we're going to swing over to that. The other storm with the tornado warning is here near Wautoma. It's really just to the south of Wautoma. It does look like there is a little bit of rotation in the radar there, just south of Dakota or west of Nishkoro, and this would be moving into the south central portions of Waushara County. I'm going to take a look at the velocity on this. This shows the rotation almost right on the south edge of Wautoma. That almost looks like the radar here was delayed, or we're picking up a mix of the two radars, but the velocity here indicating that the rotation here would be very close to the Wautoma area. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll back this out so we can look at both storms. You can see these storms are moving towards the northeast, and they have a pretty good clip to them, but the general overall motion on these thunderstorms is just not that intense. So we're ending up with a indication that we could see some very heavy local rainfall. So This is from the National Weather Service in Milwaukee. This just coming out within the last 10 seconds. A confirmed tornado located over Waupun, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. The thunderstorm in Waushara County for Wautoma is capable of producing a tornado. So that is radar indicated. This is an actual observed tornado located over the city of Waupun, and it is moving towards the northeast at 25 miles per hour. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a storm track on that. Now that we have that information, this may take me just a second here. I'm going to put the current radar on. We'll zoom in on the storm down near Waupun and the rotation. This might take a second because the radar does look just a hair delayed that we're picking that up. I'm going to make sure that I have the correct storm track speed on this. This will just take me a moment. This looks good. So this is moving this tornado to the northeast at 25 miles per hour, which does move it towards the Fond du Lac area. So these are the cities that would be in the path of this tornado that is confirmed on the ground near Waupun. This would move it right, well, it's moving through Waupun right now, but it would move it into Fond du Lac at about 3:57, Taycheedah at 4:05. So 3:57 is a good 45 minutes away. Gives you an idea of the strength, the path of these storms, but also that they're not moving all that quickly, and they should continue to drive towards the northeast. So we'll take a look at the radar here once again. You can see the thunderstorms, two of particular concern. One in south central Fond du Lac County, another one over Wautoma. The one over Wautoma has a wide and general rotation to it. It's a little tough to pick up the specifics on that one, seeing a little more in the specific rotation with the storm over Waupun and a confirmed tornado with that storm. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. So we're switching radars, so I'm trying to zoom in and keep the correct radar. This is just going to be a little bit difficult. So we're picking up the rotation on the Milwaukee National Weather Service radar and the Green Bay National Weather Service radar. This is, I got to move that to the, I just have to zoom out. I'm trying to get this so you can see it on your TVs at home. There you see the rotation. I think I have it here above the crawl that's running at the bottom of your screen. But basically the tightest portion of the rotation is on the south side of Waupun near the Horicon Marsh. Now when we judge these tornadoes at distance, you end up seeing the rotation a few thousand feet off the ground. So the tornado itself may be in a different location. Also of note is the rotation here near Wautoma, which does appear to be tightening a little bit, and that is of a concern. So this is a radar indicated tornado right now over the city of Wautoma, and then we have a confirmed tornado on the ground near Waupun, moving towards the northeast at 25 miles per hour. All right, I'm going to go ahead and walk through the whole situation one more time. Oh, and apparently we have a new tornado warning out. That is for Marquette County. So a little bit outside our viewing area, but occasionally we do have viewers in Marquette County. So right now we have tornado warnings in place. Southwestern portions of Fond du Lac County, south central portions of Waushara County, brand new flood watch out for Waushara County, and then we have the tornado warnings out for Marquette County and tornado warning near Baraboo as well. Almost all of these run until 3:45. The couple that are until 3:30 include the one for Waupun. And again, this has a considerable tag on it. You can tell by the black outline on the warning. That means that there is a tornado observed with this storm. That we have seen that tornado pushing through the area, confirmed by spotters on the ground. Tornado watch until 6 o'clock for almost our entire area. These initial thunderstorms will be the most intense. Then we're going to transition to a heavy rain event, and there is a flood watch out for the central portions of our area. That runs until 10 o'clock tonight. Just trying to give everybody a little bit of an overview, because the most intense thunderstorms in the southern portions of our area, but they are moving towards the northeast. What we've seen is as they cross north into a little bit cooler air, we have been seeing some of that intensity kind of transition more to a heavy rain event, and you're seeing a lot of that over the central portions of Wisconsin right now. The tornado warning out near Watoma, also a tornado warning for a confirmed tornado on the ground near Waupun, that moving towards the northeast at 25 miles per hour. Interesting in this, when we put a little bit larger view on it, it's taking more of a northerly than northeasterly track. That may have to do with the rotation inside that particular thunderstorm cell. So right now, based on this, it's moving almost directly up Highway 151, but based on this, it would move more to the western side of the city of Fond du Lac and kind of just to the west edge of the southern end of Lake Winnebago. The storm back over Watoma is moving towards the northeast, but also seems to be filling in a bit. Again, the rotation, we're losing a little bit of it in just kind of the congestion that you get in the radar there, but are picking up some of the rotation there with the towards and aways near the south side of the city of Waupun. And again, this storm track, I would probably lean it more towards the north based on the way that was running. And I'm gonna go ahead and step off screen so I can redo this storm track so folks at home can get an idea of what I'm thinking here. I'm just going to back this up just a touch. We'll clear that off and put a new one on. So this is just going to take me a moment. We'll clear that storm track off, put a new one on. That is before I even do that, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit on this storm near Waupun. A very intense storm, and this is something you would classically see in a tornado situation. You see the rotation. Here is the area of concern. You can see the rotation around the center of circulation. That would put the tornado probably somewhere in either just to the southwest of Waupun or just south of Waupun. So one of these X's, and the most likely scenario for that tornado would be right in here, and this would be moving basically in this direction towards the western portions of Fond du Lac County. That would kind of run it up towards Rosendale and eventually maybe the west end of Lake Winnebago. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, just looking at the radar clean out. And I'm going to go ahead and throw the storm track on that just to give you an idea. You know what? I'm going to zoom this out just a touch before I do that, just to get a little better handle on where that storm is going. So you can see there's a little individual cell that's popped up on the outflow from that storm just to the south. But this would be where the storm is right now. I think it's moving in generally this direction, which would bring it up obviously through Waupun, and it is over Waupun right now, but then up towards Ladoga, Rogersville. You know what? I'm going to see if I can just slide this map northward, and so that's up towards El Dorado. So basically, it is the western sections of Fond du Lac County. If you are in the western portions of Fond du Lac County, now is the time to take cover, and you should take cover if you are in the south central portions of Waushara County around Watoma as well. While I'm on this, I'm going to squeeze back here and check out the Watoma storm. Again, the rotation is almost right on top of Watoma with this storm, and then the rotation with the Waupun storm. I'm going to have to zoom out to get this to pop. There it is. Okay, so and you see the rotation. The reason it flips colors like that is because we're switching between the National Weather Service radars in Green Bay and Milwaukee, depending on what's closer. So you see that green, that would be the rotation almost over the central portions of Waupun right now. I am going to go ahead, we're going to put the radar on. I'm going to put a loop on this and check if we have any notes from the National Weather Service right now. I'm going to back this out so you get a little bit wider view, but you can see the curl in that thunderstorm as it's moving through the city of Waupun. You can also see the curl on the thunderstorm moving through the central portions of Waushara County. We do have a brand new flash flood warning that's in effect until 6:30 for Marquette County, and we also have the flood watch continuing. No notes on the Waushara County tornado warning other than it continues. We do have reports of a storm chaser seeing the tornado in Fox Lake in Dodge County as it was moving up along Highway 151. So it was just on the west side of 151 moving towards the north. And again, we have a confirmed tornado located over Waupun. That was about 10 minutes ago. So it would continue to move towards the northeast, but only doing 25 miles per hour. It is not going to have a whole lot of speed to it, not the typical thunderstorms we see in this type of a scenario. We continue with showers, thunderstorms moving through a large chunk of the area. Biggest concern, obviously, is the tornadic storm that's over Waupun. You can see the rotation on this storm. I'm going to stop this loop. We'll go to the current, and you can see the rotation in this storm. My concern right now is if there is a tornado, it is almost right on top of the city of Waupun. We are seeing that rotation in the radar. I'm going to go ahead and throw on the warning. This warning may need to be extended towards the north and northeast because it does appear that the tornado is getting towards the northern edge, or at least the northeastern edge of that warning. Again, we also have severe thunderstorm warnings. I'm going to back this out and show you the different warnings. We have a tornado warning for central Dodge County. We also have a tornado warning out for much of Marquette County. It appears that the tornado warning for Waushara has ended. I'm going to go ahead and verify that because the tornado warning out of Green Bay, okay, Green Bay, that is true. That just happened. The tornado warning has been canceled for Waushara County, but it continues with a severe thunderstorm warning until 3:45. So severe thunderstorm warning, 3:45, south central Waushara County. But also we continue with the number of tornado warnings. The highest threat for severe weather is really going to be Oshkosh and southward over the next couple of hours, but everybody is going to fill into more of a sorry, I'm working on the radar, more of a flood warning or flood threat as these very intense thunderstorms are moving through. And to give you an idea, I'm going to back this out just a little bit, not forgetting about the severe thunderstorms that we have or the flood threat that we have. This, I'm going to zoom this in. Not picking up anything particularly dangerous with the radar right now. I'm going to zoom in. We still have more of a broad rotation around Wautoma, maybe just east of Wautoma at this point, but it's obviously the rotation and the intensity of the storm right over the city of Waupun, now more towards the northwest edge of the Horicon Marsh. That's moving towards the northeast. And again, should be moving over the western portions of Fond du Lac County. So here's a live look at the current radar. You can see the rotation and the actual structure of that storm. That would put, again, the tornado probably right near Highway 151 on the east side of Waupun at this point, moving towards the northeast at 25 miles per hour. I'm going to back this out just so I can give you an idea. These are the intense thunderstorms in this line from Wautoma down towards Madison, but there is also exceptionally heavy rain starting to fill in at the northern end of that band. To give you an idea of the rainfall, we take a look at the 3-hour rainfall. And look what's been happening back to our west. Rainfall amounts of somewhere between 1 and 3 inches over a widespread area in the west central and southwest portions of Wisconsin, basically just west of our viewing area. And then here's a look at the 1-hour rainfall. This is the rain that has fallen in just the last hour. And you can see 2 intense stripes. One with the tornadic storm that's moving over Waupun, and a second intensely heavy stripe moving through sections of Waushara County and Marquette County. That's why we now have the flood advisory out for Waushara County. Rainfall amounts estimated just in the last hour of 1 to 2 inches, basically from Wautoma to Dakota, west towards Coloma. So some very heavy rain in the southwest portions of Fond du Lac County, or of Waushara County. We can see that over a good chunk of the area here. And it appears they have gone to a flash flood warning. I'm going to zoom in on that. Where that heavy stripe of rain I just showed you is, National Weather Service in Green Bay has issued a flash flood warning until 7:30. I'm going to, yeah, that just came out about a minute ago. So flash flood warning for Waushara County until 7:30 as those thunderstorms have been moving through. Also at a wind gust in Wautoma to 46 miles per hour. But again, a kind of a more general rotation with that storm at this point. We do have a number of tornado warnings out, including portions of Fond du Lac County for a tornado that was confirmed over Waupun. Trying to get an update on that situation right now. That's why I was kind of looking at the National Weather Service chat. And there's the new, that's a brand new tornado warning out until 4 o'clock. Includes basically western and central portions of Fond du Lac County. Let's get the latest on that warning. I'm going to leave this up right now while I take a quick look at that warning. It's not even over on our chat line, but there is a new tornado warning. There it is, new tornado warning, Fond du Lac County, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Waupun, moving northeast at 25. When they say radar indicated tornado, that is radar indicated. So we had a confirmed tornado in Waupun. Now it is radar indicated, which means to me that the circulation is still there, but the thunderstorm is moving towards the northeast, and we're not getting a visual confirmation of that tornado. So I'm going to take a look at the. Actually, I need to adjust this really quick. We're going to take a look at the forecast radar as we move through the next couple of hours. So the forecast radar is showing that these thunderstorms by 4 o'clock, still in the western portions of the area, but continuing to rotate towards the northeast. And this is going to put some pretty strong thunderstorms through the Fox cities up to Green Bay between, well, now and 7 p.m. tonight. After 7, we're going to start to see the intensity drop off and the thunderstorms move off towards the east. By 10 o'clock tonight, I think most of that activity works out of the area. I would like to pass along that the Weather Prediction Center has us in a heavy rainfall potential through the central portions of Wisconsin. These thunderstorms will continue to push towards the east, and really the heaviest rainfall is going to be right through the central and southern parts of our area as these storms are moving through. A quick check of our Oshkosh camera shows it's still 81 in Oshkosh. Some really dark skies out to your west, but not much happening at this time. But we are going to see some scattered thunderstorms moving through. Right now, tornado warnings in place for central Fond du Lac County. It looks like we got a brand new one that just outside of our viewing area back in Dodge County. But we have tornado warnings out for central sections of Fond du Lac County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in place. That is for the south central portions of Waushara County. We do have a flood advisory for Waushara County. We have a flash flood warning for very heavy rainfall that has been falling around Wautoma and just southwestward. I was just showing you that on the radar. A couple of tornado warnings out for Marquette County and one new one for Dodge County just to the south of the Horicon Marsh. So that's a look at the current warnings. Watches are the tornado watch really that we have in place until 6 p.m. We have the flood warning out. The flood warning is in place, a flash flood warning that is, for central Waushara County, and then we have the flood watch until 10 p.m. Cluster of thunderstorms moving through. There is a general rotation in the atmosphere around this cluster of thunderstorms, so we are going to continue with rain and lightning, and the rain could be very heavy as we move through the next several hours. Almost surprisingly, most of the lightning has really been from, say, a line from Stevens Point to about Green Bay and southward. We haven't seen much in the way of lightning over the northern parts of the area, although there is quite a bit of locally heavy rain. Heaviest rain so far has been moving through Wautoma and Waushara County, and then with that cell that's moving up through Fond du Lac County. A check of the velocity. You know what? It showed it. This looks more impressive again on the radar. I need to zoom this out and kind of flip over to the National Weather Service Green Bay. This would put the tornado at least the circulation that is capable of producing a tornado, right north of Waupun. And obviously this storm has a history of producing tornadoes. This would be almost right along Highway 26, just to the north of Highway 151. Bring you in a little bit closer and show you that would be near State Route 103 and State Route 26. So that intersection, and maybe just to the east of County Road M in southern Fond du Lac County. But if we zoom up, take it up a little bit further, that means it is just south of Rosendale, just south of County T along Highway 126 and moving towards the north. This looks like it will pass west of the city of Fond du Lac. So that's something to keep in mind. This is an old storm tracker. I'm going to have to get rid of this. So we'll move along from that. And then here are the current advisories and warnings. The tornado warning's obviously the most concerning, but as concerning as the flash flood warning for the western portions of Waushara County. These storms continue to move towards the northeast. So I'm going to show you, this is Future Track Radar. We'll walk through this really quickly. Shows you that the intense thunderstorms, this is just not doing, it does great with the projection of the storms, but it is just off in the timing, I think. So take that with a grain of salt if you're looking at it specifically for timing purposes. All right, we're going to check out a number of things here. First off, the tornado warning that we have in place. The tornado warning is for this storm that is currently moving through the western portions of Fond du Lac County. I'm going to throw the velocity on there. It does show the rotation with that storm. The potential tornado would generally be in this area right here, just to the northeast of Waupun, and it is moving towards the northeast, and maybe more like this, like just to the west of Friendship, just west of Fond du Lac, but just east or barely east of Rosendale. So folks in this area, this would be moving across Highway 23 here within the next 10 or 15 minutes. So that is the main concern in our area right now. I am going to run a storm track on this. This would be the area of concern for the tornado. It is, I'm going to put more of a funnel on that. A lot of times with storms like this storm could turn more towards the left or right, and it's something that we need to be aware of. But this would bring the thunderstorm that's possibly producing a tornado through Woodhull at 347, El Dorado at 351, Friendship about 358, and Black Wolf about 406. So it's well south of Oshkosh, but it is generally working in that direction. Probably going to pass just to the south and southeast of Oshkosh, but it is working in that direction. So folks in western Fond du Lac County, from the city of Fond du Lac westward, now is the time to take precautions and protect yourself for that tornado warning. I'm trying to find a graphic here. So if you have a tornado warning for your area, the best thing to do is find an interior portion of your house away from windows. If you have a basement, that is significantly better. Best place is in the basement. If you do not have a basement, try to find an interior room with as little window action as possible and get away from the outside walls. That is going to help you considerably. And we do have, I'm going to pop up our Oshkosh camera. This is more looking towards the west. You can see the heavy rain off in the distance, but right now that threat would be off to the southwest. And we do have a threat not only for the heavy rain, but also for the current warnings that we have in place. Flash flood warning, central sections of Waushara and Wautoma County, or Waushara County, around the city of Wautoma. We have a tornado warning out for western sections of Fond du Lac County and also parts of Marquette County. Officially, that's just out to the west. Update from the National Weather Service in Milwaukee. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located, that's for southern portions of Dane and Columbia County. So just outside of our viewing area. Tornado warning for Fond du Lac County. Severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Waupun, moving northeast at 25. We have a second confirmed tornado. This is just outside of our viewing area for Dodge County. Confirmed tornado on the ground near Iron Ridge, near the city of Horicon. That's moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. So that is the second tornado warning that you see on the graphic just to the southeast of Beaver Dam. We'll take a look at that in a moment. We also have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Waushara County. There is the potential for rotation with that storm, and that runs until 4:15. In addition, we have some wind damage, multiple trees down in the city of Richford in Waushara County, and we have a flash flood currently happening on Highway 21, just to the east of Watoma and just west of Coloma. High water running across the road. Highway 21 is impassable at this time. So with the flash flood warning that we have there, we have reports of Highway 21 being impassable at this time. So let's jump back into the radar. We will take a look at some of the rainfall totals and some of these other tornadic areas. So it looks like the tornadic area in eastern Dodge County and the southern end of the Horicon Marsh is going to stay out of our viewing area. It may creep over towards Sheboygan. This one has a active tornado on the ground with it just to the south of Hubbard. But at the motion and the way that storm is progressing, it may clip southern Fond du Lac County, so it is something that we are watching. We also have tornado warning for the storm, and there is an impressive rotation with this storm just to the north of Waupun. Has a history of producing tornadoes. Again, with this storm, you could have a tornado. There's basically two locations that tornado could show up, and that narrows it down to one location. So it is basically in this area. I'm going to grab a highlighter and show you. It is basically in this area. So you're getting the rotation of the thunderstorm around like this. So that's why we're seeing the potential for the tornado in this area. That would be just to the southeast, well, just almost dead south of Rosendale, almost along Highway 26, maybe right on the east side of Highway 26. Again, that is running towards the northeast. Looks like it'll pass just east of Rosendale, but folks in Black Wolf and Friendship, you need to keep a very close eye on this storm. And folks west of Fond du Lac and Fond du Lac County, you should be taking shelter now. That is a dangerous storm and has produced tornadoes that have been confirmed that are moving towards the northeast. We're going to back this out just a little bit, take a look at the storms over Waushara County. You can see very heavy thunderstorms moving through Waushara County. We have had some rotation with the storm just east of Watoma. You can see the rotation on the radar. So in this situation, if there is a tornado developing, and there is that possibility, it would basically be just to the north of Mount Morris. It's where these winds are moving away from the radar site, and then these winds are moving towards the radar site. Typically, this is not as tight as you would like to see the rotation for a tornado. This is a general rotation inside the thunderstorm, but it is not out of the question once you get that rotation to produce a storm that could produce a tornado. So it is something very important, and we really need to keep a close eye on. I am going to run a storm track on that just for the people out ahead of it. And this is moving more towards the northeast than the other storm. But it's a lot of this is just kind of open areas and rural areas in the northern sections of Waushara County. But it does move it up towards Saxville. By the time we get to 352, obviously that's not too far away, only about 11 minutes. But if it continues on this path, it would be heading towards Hortonville and New London. That is something that you need to keep an eye on as that storm moves towards the northeast. Something else I wanted to check on is the 3-hour rainfall, and this is going to be a concern. Very heavy rainfall. Let's check the 1 hour. This is a 1-hour rainfall product off the National Weather Service radar, indicating widespread areas of 2 inches of rain, basically from just west of Watoma almost all the way out to Coloma. And as we reported, the National Weather Service indicating that Highway 21 is impassable right now. There has been some tree damage in Richford, just southwest of Watoma. and there may be a couple of nearly 3-inch rainfall amounts there along Highway 21. So Highway 21 impassable between Watoma and Coloma, and we do have flooding running over the roadway there on Highway 21. So this is the kind of very heavy thunderstorm that could produce intense rainfall that we're going to see over the next couple of hours as these storms are moving through. In addition, it looks like we've had over an inch of rain parts of western Fond du Lac County with the intense storm that's moving through that area. The 3-hour product doesn't seem to be updated as quickly. Let's check this, and the 6 hours definitely not. So basically the 1-hour rainfall is doing the best here with that precipitation moving through. All right, let's go ahead and throw on the radar and some of the icons, the markers that we have. This gives us an indication of what's happening inside the thunderstorm. Not seeing a whole lot right now. It is a lot. We are seeing some intense lightning, especially with the storms, and a lot of intercloud lightning. Back with the storms from Watoma down towards Montello. And then we have the rotation with the storm over Fond du Lac County. I would like to check. Sometimes we take a look and see the charge on the lightning strikes, because often if you have positively charged lightning, that can lead to tornadoes developing. It's just some older research. Anyway, back to Storm Tracker shows thunderstorms moving northeast through the county. We do have a secondary rotation with the storm coming up through portions of Marquette County. And as I mentioned this early on, but I think it bears repeating. When we get interactions, this is very common for northeast Wisconsin. Notice the little boundary that drops southward here away from the bay and away from the lake. You can see that kind of pushing into these thunderstorms. There are times where we have these boundaries interact with thunderstorms that are moving in, that they can lead to quick rotations and new spins in the thunderstorms, which could lead to new tornadic development. All right, we'll zoom in on the storm that's moving through Fond du Lac County. This continues towards the northeast. We continue with the tornado warning with that storm, but there is a rotation there. It is a little more generic, but it does look in this loop. I'm going to loop this through one more time. In this loop, it looks like the rear flank downdraft, or the outflow on the backside of the thunderstorm, has taken over that rotation. Two things can happen in this situation. You can get the tornado to kind of choke itself out and get very intense winds blowing away from the individual cell, or you can get redevelopment in a new location. So that is going to take some very close watching as we move through the next little bit here. And this is a little bit of a concern. I'm going to take the little bit of a concern here is the very strong shear and the very strong outflow basically along Highway 151 just west of Fond du Lac there. You're probably going to see some pretty intense winds as that storm is moving through. All right. Let's go ahead and throw a little bit different view on that. We'll throw the current radar on. This storm, again, seems to be going through a redevelopment phase as it's moving through central and western portions of Fond du Lac County. There are other thunderstorms here. It does look like we're seeing some thunderstorms near Oshkosh, big thunderstorms around Watoma. Put this into motion, and there is a little bit of rotation with the storm just west of Oshkosh. Let's go ahead and take a look at that in a wider view. Nothing specific, nothing sharp. That is a good sign. But the 1-hour rainfall is going to start to really look impressive here with those thunderstorms. The rain rate, impressive with these storms, and that should continue. We're going to go ahead and check on maybe some of this is the rainfall rate per hour, and I will put the radar back up, but you can see rainfall rates widespread of over 2 inches per hour over much of Waushara County and a chunk of Fond du Lac County as well, with those big thunderstorms moving up. I'm going to put the radar on, zoom this out just a little bit, and we're going to check in with Michelle, see if we have any reports of power outages or if we have any damage reports. I know we do have the reports from Highway 21 in Waushara County that they are seeing flooding and the road is impassable at this time. So we'll go ahead and take a quick look with Michelle on those power outages.
Well, we're going to let Patrick get a drink, catch his breath for a second, and just look at things, because things are just popping one after the other this afternoon. First, we're going to give that reminder of what to do with a confirmed tornado on the ground, a reminder of what to do if you are in its path. Remember, the safest place that you can be is in the basement. And if you don't have a basement, go to one of the innermost rooms of your home. Avoid windows, doors, and any outdoor walls. But again, that basement is the best part. Cover yourself with blankets or a mattress for protection. So you can go ahead and take a look at that graphic there. All of the green places, all of the places that are colored in green, those are the best place to go with that tornado in its path. And again, it has been extremely active this afternoon, with one warning after the other just popping up, and along with flooding concerns. So we are going to check into those power outages, but we're going to send it back to Patrick to keep you updated on the very latest with these storms.
Thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate that as we take a look at some of the current things that are happening right now with thunderstorms moving through. And a lot of folks in Green Bay, Appleton are kind of wondering when the thunderstorms are going to come in. I will mention that especially for the Green Bay area, these thunderstorms will move in, and we will likely see the thunderstorms a little bit weaker as they move into the Green Bay area in intensity, as in I'm not expecting a lot in the way of severe weather around Green Bay. Most of the severe storms look like they will be over the southern portions of the area as we move through the next couple of hours. I'm going to go ahead and throw on a loop here so we can get a little bit better view. And you can see, I think over the next 2 to 3 hours, the chance for severe weather is really going to be concentrated in a line probably south of Highway 10 generally, or around and south of Highway 10. So even in the Appleton area, I think severe weather is going to be more of a stretch. That said, intense rainfall is likely over a good chunk of central Wisconsin, and we do have a flood watch out for much of the area, in addition to the flash flood warning that we have for the central portions of Waushara County. What's happening is the air is much more humid and much more unstable on the south side of that frontal boundary, basically south of Oshkosh. So I think your best bet for strong and severe thunderstorms is, again, generally going to be along and south of Highway 10. And I think the best bet for heavy rain is going to be generally from the Lake Winnebago system northward to about Highway 29 or Shawano Lake. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. And I think it will last until about 7 or 8 p.m., at least the heavy rain threat and the severe weather threat. Heavy rain threat especially until 8 p.m., severe weather threat probably until 6 or 7 p.m. before that moves out towards the northeast. So we're going to update some of this activity. I'm taking a look at the National Weather Service discussion from Milwaukee. The new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for Fond du Lac and Green Lake County. That's until 4:30. Green Bay has expired the severe thunderstorm warning for Waushara County. The tornado watch has been updated. They dropped Wood County out in central Wisconsin. And again, we still have reports of, we have the flash flood warning. That's for Waushara until 7:30. And we do have reports of flash flooding along Highway 21. So I'm going to back this out. We're going to take a look at the brand new warnings that we have in place. And the tornado warning for Fond du Lac runs for about another 8 or 9 minutes. And we also have a tornado warning out for parts of Dodge County and back west, western sections of Dodge County west of Beaver Dam. That's the new severe thunderstorm warning for southern Fond du Lac County, basically in the same areas there in Waupun that just had the intense thunderstorms, and they warned and spotted tornado move through. Wider view. Going to zoom in really quickly, show you some of the big thunderstorms that are now moving into the Oshkosh area. This is the tornado warned storm that's moving through Fond du Lac. I would like to get a tighter view on that. So we're going to jump into the velocity mode. Again, this is looking at wind speeds in the atmosphere, and we have lost a lot of that tight circulation with this storm. It's more of a general circulation approaching Highway 23 just to the west of Fond du Lac. So again, this moving towards the northeast. I would like to take a look at some of our cameras. Our Lambo cam This is pointed out towards the southwest. So Lambo Cam looking southwest, showing thunderstorms off in the distance. Not a lot happening here in Green Bay as of yet. Appleton, it is raining. Most of the bigger thunderstorms are off to the west, and that continues to work away. And yeah, that is moving towards the northeast. I think you're going to see the rainfall intensity pick up in Appleton here over the next half hour. It is raining and raining fairly heavily in Oshkosh. Have had a little bit of lightning in the Oshkosh area, but most of the stronger thunderstorms have been just to your southwest. We're going to run through a little bit of an update here on these thunderstorms. So currently, that is the tornado warning for Fond du Lac County that continues. So currently, we have a tornado warning in place. Most of the tornado warnings have been really over Dodge County and around the Horicon Marsh. We had the tornado warning still for southwestern portions of Fond du Lac County. We have the flash flood warning for Waushara County, that is including the city of Watoma, and a new severe thunderstorm warning for eastern sections of Waushara County. That is running basically in the northeast corner of Waushara County. Tornado watch continues until 6 p.m. That's the flash flood warning basically from Watoma to Coloma out into northern sections of Marquette County, and then a flood watch for the majority of the area that runs until 10 p.m. tonight. This thunderstorm complex moving through the area, the southern end of it is producing most of the severe weather, and it appears the majority of the lightning. Our system is only picking up cloud to ground lightning. It does not pick up intercloud lightning, so lightning that strikes from one cloud to another cloud, which in this type of a situation is something that you can get a lot of. So I would suspect this is the kind of situation where you would hear a lot of rumbling of thunder, but not see a lot of lightning strikes because a lot of it is intercloud lightning. So you could see the showers, thunderstorms moving up. Intense thunderstorm here just west of Fond du Lac moving towards the north. We have an intense thunderstorm near Oshkosh that has been developing, but also moving towards the north. And as it moves north of that warm front, we're going to see it lose a little bit of intensity and transition more to a very heavy rain producer. Very heavy rain with these thunderstorms that have been moving through Waushara, Green Lake, down into Dodge County around Beaver Dam. Checking the rotation, still have a general rotation with that storm west of Fond du Lac, but not the tight rotation that we were seeing earlier. This is still a tornado-warned thunderstorm for about another 4 minutes. Other strong thunderstorms moving through the western portions of the area. That continues to drive towards the northeast, and here are the latest on the warnings. We have a tornado warning out southwestern, south central Fond du Lac County, basically Waupun to just west of the city of Fond du Lac. That runs until 4 p.m. So another 3 minutes, 4 minutes or so with that. We have the flash flood warning out for Waushara County, including the city of Watoma. That runs until 7:30 tonight. We have had reports of flooding over the roadway and impassable conditions on Highway 21. We also have tornado warning. That's just south of the Horicon Marsh. This was with a tornado that was seen on the ground near Horicon. We've also had reports of tornadoes seen on the ground near Waupun, but that was about an hour ago. Future track radar shows these thunderstorms moving northeast at 5 p.m. I think the radar is a little slow with this, but it has a general idea on how this thunderstorm complex is going to move through the area tonight. It has big thunderstorms, Fond du Lac right up through the Lake Winnebago region, up to about Clintonville. But I think this is a little bit slow in the process of moving those thunderstorms eastward. Very heavy rain between 5 and 7 p.m. for the majority of the area. Between 7 and 8 p.m., stronger thunderstorms are really fading away and the heavier rain is starting to shift towards the east. And we continue with a few isolated thunderstorms probably until 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. The concern for most of the area is going to be this very heavy rainfall. Future track radar shows that as we head into the overnight hours, things do clear out. It's very heavy rainfall that's expected. This is an updated computer model. And again, everything in the yellow is over an inch of rain. And that's between now and say 10 tonight when the thunderstorms come to an end. So that's over a 6-hour period, expecting everything in the yellow over an inch. Everything in the lighter oranges is over 2 inches. When you get into the maroons, that's 4 to 5 inches, and there's a couple spots where we could see some isolated amounts approaching 4 inches. So some extraordinarily heavy rain moving through parts of the area. Again, Weather Prediction Center has us in a slight risk for heavy rainfall as we move through the evening hours, and clouds and radar show that this thunderstorm complex has a rotation, a large-scale rotation. You can see the entire thing kind of rotating around a spot probably out near maybe central western Marquette County. But that rotation is going to continue to develop these very strong thunderstorms over the central and northern portions of that area of low pressure, and that includes most of our viewing area. So I think as that rotation heads towards the east, the heaviest rainfall is really going to be right through the central parts of our area between now and probably 8 o'clock tonight. So over the next 4 hours, some very heavy rain expected. 70 right now in Green Bay. It is 75 currently in Appleton, looking out towards the west, raining in Appleton, heavier rain in Oshkosh, currently Oshkosh at 75. So if you have the tornado warning, right now tornado warning continues for the western sections of Fond du Lac County. Best thing to do, avoid windows and doors and outside walls. The best thing you can do is get into a basement. If you can't do that, get away from the windows that you have in your house. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Observe tornado right now near Horicon. We have a tornado warning in place for western Fond du Lac County for just another about 45 seconds. I'm going to check with the National Weather Service and see if that's going to continue. I'm going to back this up also. Let's back this up one graphic. And then you can see we also have a severe thunderstorm warning out for the northeast sections of Waushara County. Okay. Checking with the National Weather Service. Currently, we have flash flood warning continues for Waushara until 7:30. We still have problems with flash flooding along Highway 21, especially east of Watoma and west of Coloma. There has been some extremely heavy rain in that area. We do have reports of some trees down in Richford, and there could be some power disruptions in parts of Waushara County. Watoma had a wind gust of 46 miles per hour. We also had the tornado observed earlier near Waupun. But right now, things appear to be calming a bit as we hit the 4 o'clock hour. You see, there is still a severe thunderstorm warning in place for southwest sections of Fond du Lac County. There is still a severe thunderstorm warning in place for northeast Waushara County, and we are going to have these thunderstorms moving through the area over the next couple of hours. Tornado watch continues until 6 p.m. tonight. We will continue to run the crawl at the bottom of your screen. We will update these, anything that we need to, as soon as we need to. But for now, we have the flooding going on in western Waushara County. We have the severe thunderstorm warning for the western portions, southwest portions of Fond du Lac County. But the tornado threat appears to be dropping off a little bit. So for now, we're going to return you to programming. We will break in as needed here at Fox 11. We are your station for severe weather coverage.